and the goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Sweet, that intro is my new favorite band. That's phenomenal. I'm so excited to be on.
Yeah. I heard a rumor that you might be able to play that song live today.
You heard correctly. Yes.
So.
Good enough for Robert.
I don't know when I rock out here on your next favorite band and show.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band.
Phil, you weren't supposed to make me get all... God almighty,
But this
Phil.
is why we do it.
Like, seriously. I gotta gather myself. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot, up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Tonight, we have collar-grabbing indie rock that will write the soundtrack to the movie of your life. From Portland, Maine, Weekend Friends. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Philip Reese, and you are listening to your next favorite band. It's certainly one of mine tonight. Like, I'm super pumped for this. It's somebody who I've enjoyed the music of for years and now have the pleasure of bringing on the show. They have brand new music out, and it's their best yet so far. So I can't wait to dive into the full story, the full inspirations, the full backstories, everything. But we have from Portland, Maine, Weekend Friends. And I need to make sure I pronounce that right. One of my least favorite kind of sleepwalky questions people ask when I listen to other podcasts is, where does the band name come from? But the only reason why I'm going to spend any time here on the band name at all is to make sure you spell it right. It's Weekend Friends, not Weekend Friends, as in there was a bond of friendship and it has been weakened. I'm not going to ask why that became the band name, but I do have a little nugget here to talk about regarding that with with our guests tonight, Sonia and Annie. So yeah, make sure you go after that properly spelled so you find them, and then also it's too many letters for social media, so we'll make sure you can link to their socials in the links to the show notes. But yeah, Weekend Friends is one of the real powerhouse just alt-rock bands out there and an amazing live performers. So if you get the chance to see them, and again, don't take my word for it now. Enjoy the entire interview, and then we'll definitely get you're going to make it your next favorite band for sure. Couple of just kind of updates. Had the No Planet B Jamboree at the end of April. That was a tremendously... I was so proud of it, how it all came together, and how it just was like so many people, the community coming together, food vendors agreeing to use, compostable plates and forks and knives, a composting company coming in, all these different things that allowed us to achieve a 2-leaf certification from Musicians for Sustainability. The mayor spoke. There was 12 organizations, both nonprofits and for-profits, and also governmental entities. And then obviously a killer lineup of music, Nervous Nikki and the Chill Pills, the Hot Mamas, Dustin Douglas and the Electric Gentlemen, just ripped the stage, and it was so cool. We'll have some highlights coming out, but I just kind of wanted to thank everybody for their support through that entire endeavor. And then if you can continue to kind of learn about those organizations and find ways to be a little bit more sustainable and renewable, that would be just a win for the event. And then definitely check out the musicians. And then we're about to pivot into kind of what we kind of look at as like festival season as we kind of start May here. Some of the announcements are coming out for some of the live stages, some of the festivals. We're probably on the precipice here of Musikfest. Super pumped for that. Can't wait. But just exciting times when it comes to all of that stuff. I can't wait for kind of like our episode where we talk about what's coming up in the summer, and then also the Musikfest Exordium, which happens at the end of July. And then we also have some really cool interviews coming up. Someone reached out to me who's on the schedule, who had an idea to say, hey, something we do is actually like write a song for somebody if they kind of give us a prompt. So would you want to give us a prompt and we'll write a song based on whatever that is, and we'll play it live on the show. So I don't know what that's going to be like, but I kind of can't wait to see where that develops. So if you could give us a like, a subscribe, and a follow, and also rate and review the show, that's a huge help for us. And then you're going to not miss out on any of these things that are coming up, whether it's this prompt song or the Musikfest Exordium or everything else in between. I think you're going to love what we've got coming up for the rest of the year. And then just kind of finalize something for year end. This will be our 5th annual Winter Wonder Jam, which again is December. So we're talking about something that's 7 months away, but extremely cool things in the works. So definitely be on the lookout for that, and be ready to come to Bethlehem in early December for what we've got cooking. But before we get to the music and the guests tonight, let's take a listen to our sponsor, BetterHelp. Hey, music lovers. Before we dive into today's episode, I want to tell you about our sponsor, BetterHelp. More and more mental health topics of depression, anxiety, addiction, and more are coming up in our interviews with artists and musicians who are brave enough to share them and the music that came out of the journey. Those songs may even help us feel a little bit less alone as we work through the same struggles, but at the end of the day, we need more than just a great song. We need therapy, and that's where BetterHelp can assist. BetterHelp connects you with a therapist who can help you find your path. Instead of being stuck in the endless loop of questioning yourself, you can talk through questions, concerns with someone who's trained to help you find real answers. As you know, our Listen to the Dissonance shows help to create a safe space for vulnerable conversations, but not everywhere can feel that way. Since BetterHelp is accessed via their app, you can explore your options and conduct your sessions in the comfort of your own home or wherever you feel is best for you. After you download the app, you'll get started by filling out a questionnaire and get matched with a therapist in as little as a couple of days. And if that's not feeling right, you can easily switch to a different therapist at any time at no extra cost. They carefully make sure the therapists on the platform are well qualified, and their customer support team is there to help you with any questions. With over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5 rating on Trustpilot, BetterHelp is a platform that you can trust. We at Your Next Favorite Band believe in breaking the stigma around mental health, and going to therapy is a sign of strength, not weakness. And with BetterHelp, it's easier than ever to take that first step towards feeling better. Click the link here or go to betterhelp.com/nextfaveband and you'll get 10% off your first month of therapy. That's betterhelp.com/nextfaveband. It's okay to ask for help. Contact BetterHelp today. So like I mentioned before, been a rather huge fan of Weekend Friends for a number of years here, since their first album, Common Blah, came out in 2018. Just really, this is definitely the type of music that scratches that kind of part of my brain that needs to hear stuff that I like to listen to. But they've achieved a new level. So we're going to obviously go through the whole journey. But this new album that they have, that is kind of like a new, like a height for them. The album is called Feels Like Hell. This is the first track that's on there. It's track number 1, and it just kind of sets the tone of the entire LP. It's a track called Tough Luck, Bleed Me Out. So check this out from Weekend Friends.
I work like a machine. I don't sleep and I don't eat. I'll be whatever you need. Fill the void by avoiding everything. I don't know if it's working. Fingers crossed on my back that it falls apart. I don't know if I'm learning. Information goes in, but I'm blacking out. Tough love, thought I need.
The story of Weekend Friends unfolds a bit like Fleetwood Mac's, minus the cocaine plus a dose of multivitamins. Just over a decade ago, vocalist Sonia Sturino invited bassist Annie Hoffman to start a new band. At the time, Annie was dating drummer Adam Hand. In a way that couldn't be helped, Annie and Sonia fell in love. And after the original drummer left, Adam, who had been out of the picture until then, stepped in. Crucially, he joined not out of jealousy, but out of a love and support for Annie's journey and relationship. That gesture of solidarity turned what could have been a fraught situation into one rooted in mutual care, and eventually into music that reached and moved countless others. Now, 10 years later, they're 3 albums deep into the band that would come to define their lives, and Sonia and Annie are married. Grounded in love, Weekend Friends make music to the soundtrack, the movie of your life. Whether screaming along in the car with friends, serenading your cat, falling in love, getting married, or starting a band. We'll bring it back up, and then we'll bring them on the show.
Thought I needed, but I guess I've had enough. Get fucked, you're a poison in my veins. I'll tear 'em out till I'm nothing. Bleed me out till I'm nothing. Bleed
Welcome to
me
the show,
out.
Sonia Sturino and Annie Hoffman, Weekend Friends.
Hello.
And we have another guest of the show here.
Yeah.
Who's this?
This is our manager.
This is our management. This is Babs.
Babs, lovely.
Yeah, she's hamming it up.
Nice.
She can't help but be in front of the camera.
Love it.
Love
Love it.
service.
Well, welcome to the show, all 3 of you.
To be here.
And unfortunately, the music ended, but what a tremendous track that is. And like I was trying to say, if people go in and listen, when you go from album 1 to album 2 to album 3, this is really like quite a new layer and a new level and a new sound, but still genuine to who you are. But this is like a different kind of like product you're putting out there for people to kind of take in from an art perspective.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it does feel elevated for us. I mean, it's hard. It's nice to hear that because, like, as a band and as an artist, I feel like you always sense that your like most current work is your best.
Sure.
And we definitely felt that way making this record, but upon releasing it and like touring it, it's definitely been apparent to us that this is the best work we've done, and people are connecting with it, and like so many new people are finding our band through Feels Like Hell. So yeah.
I think what I would add is, and I've heard you say this, so hopefully we're okay putting this out there, is you acknowledge that maybe like that first album was so raw and so awesome that the second album didn't quite achieve what that one did, but this one now surpasses both of them. And I hope I'm okay saying that, because I feel like there was an element to this where it was like the journey that you've been on is you've now found this groove that somewhat taps into that, maybe the primal energy of the first album with this more sophisticated, the songwriting, or I don't know what even to kind of the way to put it, but the overall, it kind of merged the two and took it to a whole new level.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you nailed it. I know Common Blah, the first record, it was really raw and kind of just straight to the point, and we made it really quickly, and there was some lightning in a bottle kind of magic about it.
Definitely.
And when we went to make Quitter, I feel like, at least from my perspective, I wanted to push us into a more like radio rock sound, not like big rock radio, but I wanted to elevate the fidelity of the recordings and just push ourselves to be bigger on record. And making that second record, Quitter, I think I might have pushed that point a little too hard, and we
Definitely
were
over tweezed.
We were making it during the
just
lockdown.
like a 90s or early 2000s eyebrow.
Yeah, like an early 2000s eyebrow.
Yeah.
Tweezed to just a pencil
A little
thin.
too thin. But I think
Yeah.
so. I had these notes for later, but we're on it already. Like, let's just talk about it. You produced the music, so there's an element there to that. But there's a nuance that can't be forgotten, is that it was COVID. So you might have way too much time to overthink it and over-engineer it and over-focus on things.
And overdo it, I did. In all of those aspects, I couldn't stop thinking about it. It was all
Well, there was nothing
to
else
do.
going on. Like, you had no other distractions, no other things to try
There
out.
was a lot of Game of Thrones being watched in this house, and like Parks and Recreation. So there was a lot going on.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I feel like that was my
But
full.
you know, so making that record was a bit of a harrowing journey, and by the time it was finished, I think we were all a little bit cooked by the process and apprehensive about,
I love that we went right into this part. This is
I
terrific.
know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you painted the
And
perfect
then we just
picture.
then we just toured a bunch, and I even spoke on it on earlier interviews about Feels Like Hell, and when I talk about the time between Quitter and this, I think I often had said I had writer's block, and the more I think about it, I don't know if that's like particularly true, because ultimately, in order to write anything, I think you do need to take breaks and you need to like live life. Like, you need to have like experience. And I think there's just this really like toxic pace right now in music and in art, where because we have such a short attention span, and it's like, so like TikTok, streaming, content, constant singles.
Yeah, I love that you stuck with the full album, because I don't like this whole path that people have gone down, where it's like
it's
single after single, and it's like you need
gotta take the
a
time.
journey. Like, the art is not only just one song; it's the album and the sequencing and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
And it's just like the time to be human and to like experience life, and then feel like you actually have something to write about and create. I think that's part of the writing process, and I've tried to be less hard on myself and give myself the time to do that more, and just like let myself be inspired, and then realize like the record writing actually came together really fast after that. Like, we put together Feels Like Hell and wrote those songs in a pretty short period of time, even though there was like a 4-year gap between Quitter and Feels Like Hell.
Well, I think
it's 'cause we got to live.
To your point, even though you might not be writing, and I mean that as in like the artist letting the art out, it's still the creative is happening. So then once it was allowed to come out, okay, it was like, all right, I got 8 or 9 of these in here. Like, it's just been brewing for a while.
Exactly. Yeah, you kind of bank that. I think there was like I think Jeff Tweedy from Wilco in his book had written like something about like, it's your job as like an artist to stay inspired.
Sure.
Like, that's part of the job. And so I've always like kind of had that as a little bit of a mantra, is just, you seek inspiration from the world around you and things. Like, I even think of just like some of my favorite comedians. It's like, you're writing new material. That new material is based off observation or like what you're experiencing in life, and you actually have to just have life lived in order to find that material. And I think music, or at least good music, and art is very similar. It's just observing and So I think it's great to hear that people think this is our best record yet. We agree, and I mean, there's just so much more life lived between when we started and now. So I think it makes sense.
And we learned a lot from the records we put out. Like, to your earlier point,
what to do, what not to do,
where to keep the raw elements and where to go for the more refined, and also, and just keeping inspired and keeping the creative flow while in the studio space or in the writing space. If something's not feeling good, there's no point in belaboring it beyond comfort. You might as well just move to something else that you're feeling and vibe on that.
I was gonna say, there's definitely cat action going on.
It certainly is. She is behind our like console slaughtering or something.
No, this is awesome.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So, I always love asking this question, because when there is a couple that are performing together, there's this very powerful element of the ability on stage to communicate non-verbally that I think like without like other people don't necessarily always have that same kind of sonic link. I just always like to ask about that. Like, how is that harnessed by the two of you in a way that's very powerful?
What immediately comes to mind is Sonia hates when I go behind her on stage.
Yeah, I don't like you back there. I don't like you back there.
And,
No.
there's many times where you'll like go into the crowd, and I have ample time
No, just stay on your side.
to trot over
I
there
think
and then trot
in my
back.
mind, there should be a visible line. Everybody has their area, and then when you connect, that's where you can together. You have to be in order to be on my side. You have to engage me, and I have to know you're there.
You're out in the
No,
crowd.
that's exactly that's and so the focal point on my side is that I'm out in the crowd, and that's when you're supposed to just be on your side doing your thing.
Okay, but anyway,
not up
every
behind me where
single
I
time.
can't see you, and then I'm gonna step back into you and get like destroyed because you are strong and bigger than me, and like get like weirdly even more strong when you're playing bass. Like
It has never happened. We've
almost
never
died
collided,
on
but
that stage.
she always shoots me this look, and
It makes
I
me-
don't think the audience would catch it at all. But
It's
I
No,
funny.
I can totally
It's-
understand that. Yeah.
It's funny from the outside, but like on stage, it puts me in like a fit of rage. Like, I love you so much at everything you do, and I think you're
Except
great.
that.
But it just gets me so
you have
mad.
to honor the invisible line that's on
guess
the
so.
the
There's a
stage
line.
plot.
There's
We
a
don't want to
line.
stand in the same place the whole time. It's audience.
You
food
don't.
to
You're
move
like
around.
everywhere. Just don't be behind me. You can be everywhere else, and you are everywhere else. Just don't
This
get
is
up in my
awesome.
business.
This is
Anyway.
That's what immediately comes to mind. Honestly, unless something's going wrong, there's not really too much we need to communicate to each other, just because we're not one of those bands that changes the set every night, or
Yeah,
like
we're
Sure.
pretty lost.
we don't like suddenly call out a song that we haven't played in a while. Usually if we're on a tour, we'll have curated the set ahead of time
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and like planned out all the transitions and stuff like that. So unless something's going off the rails,
Well, that's I guess what I mean too. Is like there's always this moment of like you can look at somebody and communicate like a holy shit moment in just a glance.
or
like,
a literal
I broke a
I have
string,
to shit
or
moment.
yeah, or that
One
could
time-
be too.
Yeah, there was. I'm gonna say whatever. There was one time on stage where we had to end our set a song early because somebody had to communicate that they needed to go to the bathroom right now. And I was like, "All right, everyone, that's it. Have a good night."
You know, that's the only
rare.
time that's ever happened. And the weirdest thing
It's rare.
was we had to clear off the stuff off stage because we were opening for someone else. And then we got off stage, and I didn't even have to go to the bathroom.
No, it's the BM mystery of touring is like everyone knows, like you really have to do that right before you perform your set, and then like if you get on stage, it just like
the effects.
it goes away.
The effects
forever.
of adrenaline on the
Totally.
digestive
Yep.
system
is a roller coaster ride of actual shit. It is unbelievable.
I was not planning on these different notes, but I'm
No?
glad we've gotten
I'm happy you
This
asked
is-
us on your
And
podcast.
on the topic of communication on stage or lack thereof, I noticed Musikfest in your intro.
Yeah, it's
we
behind me
played-
here. These are all
Yeah.
Oh,
That's where I
yeah.
saw you the first time. Was
Oh, you did? Okay.
Wait, did you see
You
Annie
saw-
explode her
You
ankle?
saw my ankle explode.
I did not see that.
Okay, go back and watch that set. I can't remember the time.
Wait, was this in 2019?
That's the only time we played music.
That would have been the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I think like 4 songs in, Annie like straight up like
It's more than
broke her
that.
ankle.
Yeah, I severely
shit.
sprained my
And
ankle.
speaking of
on stage.
communication,
I
I didn't even know
fell.
what happened.
I fell, and Sonia didn't even notice.
Was it because you were behind her? I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Yeah.
I was bouncing behind Sonia, bouncing all around.
Right.
And my
There's a video.
there's
gnarly.
video. It's
her
nasty.
ankle goes on like a pure like 90-degree angle.
Ow.
It's so gross, and I fell. I immediately fell because it was like an explosion.
Yeah, it's quite crazy.
And I jumped right back up, and it was one of those things where adrenaline
Sure.
has gotten me through so much. Like, I've
No,
played
it
with
was
the
messed
flu,
up.
I've played with food poisoning, I've played with all sorts of aches and pains.
No, this was bad.
But that moment when I stood back up, I was like, oh no, something's very wrong.
Yeah.
And Sonia didn't even notice that I had fallen.
Nope.
Nope.
Not interested.
Not
Anyway.
interested.
They had to bring me out a stool. I can't believe you didn't notice.
Well, you know, it's a busy week.
Yeah,
There's
it
a lot
is.
going on. I got a blooming onion that night.
Yeah.
That's my story.
There you go.
Yeah.
We got to get you back though. I mean, we got to get you back to
Sure.
Musikfest.
Yeah, I need redemption.
There you go. Yeah, you need to finish a set
I
with
do.
with dual ankles.
Huh.
But I wanted to touch on this. I think it's interesting that for people, I mean, it's probably a tired narrative for you all, but I think it's an interesting dialogue around that. Annie, you were dating Adam, and because it was in there in the bio, so it's still there.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think it's one of these things where it's like the two of you met and couldn't help but fall in love. And then what I actually love about the this early phase is, I think, Sonia, you came up with the name Weekend Friends, and Annie, you didn't like it but didn't want to say it because you were actually like super like crushing on each other. You
Yeah.
weren't necessarily a couple yet.
Yeah.
No, we weren't.
I also love how so that bio with that tidbit in it, like our management really wanted us to put that in there.
I think it was PR.
And PR, like, I don't know, someone, and I was like, no, this is like so.
I'm
Like,
right
just,
then.
like,
It is like a tired narrative. Like it's
It
like,
just felt.
It's not tired. A lot of
it-
people don't even notice.
It felt
Um,
kind of like, for me, I was like, where it's like some like it's like the
TMZ.
start of like a smut novel or something. I'm like, what is going
It
on?
didn't feel like a smut novel. It felt a little like TMZ, but that's the pitch they wanted to go with, and it is the truth.
This is
right.
true.
I guess
Um,
I was wanting to go there just because it's factually accurate.
Yes.
I mean,
I
it's
didn't
like- it's
necessarily
the-
want to like shine a light on it because there was something other than just
Yeah.
the story of how you guys found each other.
No,
It's
there.
like stereotypically queer, I guess, in a lot of ways, where it's like you're just friends with your exes and then you're making a band together and
Yeah.
with your wife and one of their exes is in the band. It's like, yeah, I feel like that's fine. It's there. It's how we roll.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought it up. Thanks, Phil.
Mhm.
No, it's fine.
No, I'm kidding.
First line of the bio.
I mean,
we
yeah,
know
it's someone
coming.
it was the top line of our bio, I guess.
Yeah.
So bring it up
Um,
how we like.
Yeah, we and listen, we can reword it, but
Mhm.
I just think it's an interesting element simply because also it shows the support
Yeah.
and such
Mhm.
too of the full band. And I think the other thing that was on display in the video is it's a kick-ass like energy of things. Like one thing that's missing, I think, always from like the recorded albums is the live energy of a band. And so I think in a video you're able to see it there, like the sheer, you know, the vocals, the performance of the instruments, the band, the drummer, like everything is just on display there. I just think that's really cool when you can put that into the video to kind of say, hey, we also kick ass over here too.
Yeah. Yeah, we like to move around, hop around literally until our ankles break.
Yes. But one thing we always like to do, and I would love to take a moment here, is to kind of like go back to where like music really kind of takes hold as you were, kids or what have you. But Sonia, if you don't mind, we'll start with you. You grew up in the Toronto area, like around in Canada, and was introduced to music by your father, I guess, who played the guitar.
Yeah, sure did. Yeah, I grew up outside, just at an outskirt of Toronto, and my dad played guitar, but just in general, both my parents were very like musically aware and fans of music. So it was always like a central thing, like on car rides or just in general. And I love just car rides with my dad on a Sunday, like, driving to the park or, wherever, soccer practice. And he would listen. I remember the Sundays, it was Psychedelic Sunday with Andy Frost, which was Toronto on Q107. And it was just like, like psychedelic 60s, 70s, like
Sure.
classic rock music. And he would quiz me a lot, like on like, what band is this? Like, or who sings this song? Or what's this song called? It was kind of like always a trivia, and also just like what instrument's playing that little part, if it was like. And so my awareness of music was peaked pretty young. No one was like, my dad wasn't performing anymore when I was around. That was something he did when he was like younger. But again, it was always around. And my mom, like, she's got a good ear. She always likes like weird things, and so it was always around me. And so I guess it kind of made sense that eventually I would just, pick up a guitar, and I also just like, love attention. So.
But if I understand it right, it was sports first.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
you,
it was.
you played soccer goalie,
And
and then Avril Lavigne unlocked.
Yeah, I'm happy you found this. Yeah, Avril.
the
Let's
turning
talk about
point.
this moment. Yes.
Avril really turned it around for me. She really sent me. I was I don't know, 12 or so, maybe 11,
Mhm.
maybe 11, young, like a kiddo. And I was really big into soccer, and I was like, sports girly. I had my like, really cute ponytail at all times. Like I would have the ponytail where like you push your hair back so hard it like stretches your face.
Sure. Yeah, your eyeballs are popping out of your head.
Yeah, and I put like dippity do gel to really keep all my flyaways down. This is a really good look. I just want to put people there.
Nice. Yes,
Always
very
like
good.
one pimple right below my nose. That was just
Yes.
like the most angry of all time. And then I was in soccer, and then I don't know. I think it might have just, my birthday might have just passed, and I had some cash, because
Nice.
as one does, and I was like, I'm gonna go buy some CDs down at HMV. It was either at HMV or Sam the Record Man.
Okay, we're not gonna like.
You should look up. Say Sam the Record
We're not
Man in
gonna
Toronto
fact
was an
check this.
institution. It matters to me.
I might fact
I'm
check
just-
it. I might.
To all my Canadians out there.
Right.
Whenever I went to the CD music store, whatever, and I was like, I'm just gonna pick up a record, and the Avril Lavigne record "Let Go" was just like on display, like in the main, like a
Mhm.
main feature, and I was like, she looks cool. And this is when you could still listen to the CDs like in the shop, like they would let you like listen at a
Love
little
it.
like listening kiosk.
Yep.
And I remember putting that on, and the first song, "Losing Grip," was like new metal sounding. Like it's wild.
Right.
It's a ride, and I was like, this is my identity now. Nothing
Yep.
else matters. And I immediately bought the CD. I never looked back.
Ripped out the ponytail.
Ripped my ponytail out. Declare it to the world. This is who I am now. I'm a rocker.
Declare it
chick.
to your bedroom mirror.
My bedroom mirror. Yeah. And then
And
that was
then it
that.
became true. You manifested
yeah.
that shit.
I did. I manifested it. It was for sure. Yeah. I mean, it's okay to say, hey, that record still goes hard.
We still put it on every
That record, and even her second record, and then once she became a different person, as the conspiracy theories would have you, after the real Avril left us, I fell off. But those first two records,
As most of us did.
yeah, they go hard. She's a great songwriter. I mean, she's also written for like a bunch of people. Shout out Miranda Cosgrove. I'm not going to talk about that record.
Yeah. And so if we move over to Annie, so you grew up in Pittsburgh, correct?
I did, yes.
Yeah. And so where did music find your ears? There you go, Pittsburgh Penguins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a nice sweater.
Get pens.
How about those penguins? Well, neither of my parents are musicians, but my dad loves music, and his parents had a baby grand piano
Mhm.
in their living room, and I think I don't even think I could talk yet, and all I wanted to do was play with that piano.
Sure.
Or any musical instrument that was around. And my parents were very encouraging with if I wanted to play the trombone. I got to play the trombone in the school band. When I wanted to take piano lessons, they let me take piano lessons for years and years and years. And I found the bass. I had a friend in middle school. Her parents took us to see a battle of the bands.
Neat.
And I can't I can't even remember the names of the bands that played, but there was one band that had like a girl sing. It was dual fronted by like a girl and a guy, and their bass player was just like the coolest dude. And he had like an orange tank top.
I bet now if you like saw a picture of him, he'd be.
He was so cool.
Yeah, you think he's cool now too?
And I didn't even know it was a different instrument than a guitar. I just like that guy just looked cool and he was playing with his hands.
Sure.
And then serendipitously, a few months later, my just general music teacher in middle school, he usually would play the acoustic guitar, but one day he brought in a bass and he was kind of explaining the instrument and asked if like anybody wanted to try playing it. And I was a pretty socially anxious kid, and
Sure.
I wasn't really one that was like quick to raise my hand or like go in front of the class. Oh my gosh. But, like even now
The
thinking about it
bass-
like makes me
the
nervous.
bass brought it out of you.
But I like immediately raised my hand and went up,
that's four
and I was
strings.
sitting and playing the bass, and like I could hear the kids like laughing and kind of like they were so misbehaved in that class. He was
And from the
he was
minute you
such a pushover
slapped
teacher.
that thing for the first time.
Oh my god! I
That's
like
good.
the whole world disappeared. It was just me and the space, and I went
That's
home and
so
I was like,
cool.
"Mom, I like really want to play this," and they let me sign up for lessons,
Wow,
and
that's it.
that
And
was
then it
it.
led you to Berkeley, correct?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. So I played all through high school, just kind of on my own for the first couple of years, and like taking lessons and playing along to like CDs and stuff.
What CDs?
I basically learned how to play the instrument by my instructor, and I would transcribe like Red Hot Chili Peppers bass lines. So I learned how to like
Yeah.
notate and like read the notation, and learn how to like listen and figure
Oh,
out like
you
where
might as
it's
well
being played.
Learn how Flea does it. I mean, there's,
Yeah, and honestly, I learned some really cool stuff straight out the gate. So I was
Yep.
the little like 13-year-old in Guitar Center that people were like, "Get a load of that!" Like what? And
That's
yeah,
fantastic.
and I think my sophomore year in high school, maybe I walked into the band room and I played trombone in the band, but my friend Brian was playing a bass, and I was like, "Oh hey, I play that too. Can I play your bass?" And he's like, "Yeah, sure." And I sat down and just playing some of the stuff I was learning in my lessons. And then this rumor went around the school. Oh, not like a rumor, but like the word spread. They're like, "Annie Hoffman is the best bass player we've ever seen. Anybody's ever seen." And like the seniors and some guys that
And that rumor still
like
is happening
graduated.
today.
that's right.
These like they looked like adult men to me. There's like pretty
Sure.
much grown up
As it
kids
would,
were
yeah.
like, "Do you want to jam?" And
And then you went to Berkeley.
and yeah, that's
Yeah.
all I wanted to do. And then I didn't know what I wanted to do in college. I thought maybe I'd be a nurse or something like my mom. And she's like,
Oh my god!
why
you would've been
do you
the
want to be a
worst.
nurse? She's like, you love music.
Sidebar.
Just go to music school. And I was like,
the
I can do
worst
that?
nurse. You're the worst nurse.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some shade thrown there, but it's like you are an incredible bass player.
I didn't know you could go to college for the bass.
Well, my parents did the opposite. They're like, "You're not going to school for music. Like, you're not good enough." And I was
Yeah.
like, "You're right, I'm not." So I
Huh.
did not do that.
So where did the intersection happen where you all met each other?
I was hanging out in Portland, living like a little bit of like a vagabond summer, in the sense that I have been in another band and out of Toronto, and we met some people out here, and I like they're like just touring and playing shows and like whatever. And one summer I just decided like we were gonna write a new record, and then some of the members who ended up being in my band were from Portland, Maine, of all places, just through like internet and whatever. And I was like, it's really pretty out there. I'm just gonna spend the summer out there. And then just through playing shows in New England, Annie was in another band, and we played some shows together, and just within that little scene. And when I kind of
And you were like, "Wow, it's the best bass player I've
I
ever
was
seen.
like,
I bet
That's
she
right.
could play
You're the-
Chili Peppers."
I bet she can play some
Some
sick
Flea.
Flea riffs.
I should start a band with her.
Yeah, and then we started a band together, and it's been great.
Oh.
And so you all meet each other. There's a different drummer at the time. But so this Common Blah album, like how does that kind of come together? Is that songs you already had? Is that something that you were working on together at the time?
Sort of. We did put out like a couple EPs before that record. So we were already a band for a couple years before Common Law comes out, and we put out 2 EPs, and I was our friend Cam was playing drums at the time.
You had a handful of songs ready to work on.
I just had I was writing a bunch of these like short, kind of like easy for me songs that were just like I didn't really know. I didn't really think it would be like 10 years later. Honestly, I'd still like be in this band in any capacity. My other project was kind of the project I was like pursuing seriously, but this kind of felt like effortless and fun. And my friend Chris and I had been talking, and he's in, touring band for most of his life, and he's a great producer and engineer. And I kind of was in a rut in that band that I was in, and there were a lot of interpersonal problems happening. And he was kind of just like, just try to get back to a point where you're having fun with it, and just like make music that's like fun for you to make. Like try to remember why it was fun. And
that's really good.
I think this project kind of like so simple, but that resonated with me, and took that to heart. And I just started like writing songs that kind of just were fun and were interesting in a different way. And then 10 years later, here we are.
Are we still having fun? Clearly. Can we talk about the track Blue Again, which again might be also something that comes up a lot, but like,
I was just going to bring it up actually.
Okay, cool. Like,
yeah.
I think that this is so anthemically great that it's like from the first time I ever heard it was just, again, it's what drew me down to your set during Musikfest purely off of this one song, and is what also kind of had me wanting to bring you on the show, obviously with the rest of the catalog. But this song still, to me, is one I will put on and would put against many other alt rock songs as being in a layer, an echelon that's just so great. So like, where did this song stem from? I have it here to play, so I have you maybe set it up, and then I'll start it. Normally I will play my favorite song at the very end, but I really wanted to talk through it a little bit.
Okay.
And so if you don't mind setting it up, I'll play it maybe for a minute, and then I'll lower it and we can talk over the top of it.
I remember where that came from. Like we put that together in, I swear, 20 minutes. We were at a
so cool
early rehearsal.
Yeah, I had that little riff, and I remember you were like,
I was like, what is that?
You're like, it's kind of like a Pixies sounding.
That's exactly
riff.
the exact
and
band
she's like,
that I've always said you
you were
like.
you were just like, you can't ooh over it.
Yeah.
I always tell people, I was like, if you are a fan of the Pixies, you will be a massive fan of Weekend Friends. Like, it's just, it's how this song totally hits. It's kind of like in that debaser kind of category of music for sure.
I think the first, when we did like a little phone recording of it. Once we kind of put the bits and pieces together.
It was titled like
it was called the Pixies one or something like that.
I love that. I love that it's right on brand with what I was going for.
Yeah.
So let me play it a little bit, and then, like I said, I'll bring it down and we can talk over the top of it. So here is Blue Again by Weekend Friends.
Video to make.
My hair
super long.
My hair is insane.
Super long. But
Oh my
So what
god.
I love about, if you go back to the Pixies and where this song stands, is there's that just utter raw energy that's kind of carrying you through. But there are these beautiful melodies. They're like hidden, that if you just spend a moment there, it's just like, that is gorgeous. And yet still rough around the edges. I mean, it's just such incredible song design. I just love it.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, I haven't seen this video in a really long time.
That's so fun.
And so I'm just like, I'm fully entertained by the choices of pants and hair.
There was
But
also that
also-
really cool, like, you must have walked into whatever house or venue this was and been like, I'm definitely sitting up there on that tall ass door
Yeah.
to nowhere up there.
Yeah, darn
That might
nowhere.
have been what inspired the video anyway. Our friend lives in that house church thing. It's just the weirdest place.
Yeah, it's a house of wonders.
Oh,
It's like-
you know, you can see me. I react to the fireworks in that shot, but it's the only one we had. So even though I flinch. Oh, so does Cam. He like takes his mask off.
yeah,
Um,
not me getting burned.
Yeah.
The camera
That's
goes
scary.
on. I'm like a method.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, your knack for melody is just out of this world. There's
Yeah.
and I feel like some people don't realize it because we cover it up with a lot of like big guitars and stuff. So there's a lot of other things to focus on, like big drums, big guitars. But there's somebody that follows us online, and every once in a while they cover one of our songs,
Sure.
but in like a stripped down kind of jazzy way. Like they've done Awkward,
Mhm.
and it's
Mhm.
always so lovely to hear a completely different take, but the melody does really it really says a lot about the melody.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like a hook.
Yeah.
It's
I
a
like-
total hook.
I
And but
like
it's almost
that.
like, again, like you have to, as a listener, you have to earn it. Like you have to be able to be willing to listen through this other stuff that
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah.
conventionally nice to listen to. Like I would
There's
play this
other
song.
stuff, my insufferable voice.
It's also
I have a
interesting-
hard time listening to the recording of Blue again. Actually, where
Yeah, we
you
play
put
it-
it on, and it's we play it live in every set, and I think now that we've kind of how we've evolved it live, it's a little slower, and my vocal delivery is just different for it.
Yeah, you got the scream down these days
Yeah, I can
in like a bigger
yeah,
way.
I guess more life lives, a lot more to scream about these days.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that feels fast.
it feels crazy, just as crazy as the hair. It's wild, so funny.
Well, again, it's definitely one of my favorite songs of all time. So
Oh, thanks.
thank you for that. And then if we just keep progressing forward, so like obviously you release that album, it gets met with very nice, like, reception. You're touring, you're either doing your own tour or opening for other people. And then you start coming out with, well, actually, so this is my other, so if you heard me off the top, I was saying like one of my least favorite questions when I'm listening to an interview is like, oh, where'd the band name come from? My second least favorite question is, what'd you do during COVID? But I did want to ask this one question because you were at the end of a tour and completely on the West Coast. So I don't really want to know what did you do during COVID, but obviously tour gets shut down and you have to drive all the way across the country.
Yeah, we drove from.
I just
Lincoln,
wanted to ask,
Nebraska.
how was that drive home?
It was weird. I mean, we drove from Lincoln,
It was
Nebraska. I don't think we really could fathom the scale of what was happening. Like, for
Sure, of
example,
course
we drove. This tour was canceled because of this pandemic, and then we
Huh.
drove from Nebraska and stopped at Annie's parents' house in Pittsburgh, and we're
Sure,
just
that makes sense. Yeah.
having dinner, hanging out, met up with your friend, to go for a walk. We're like, oh, stay outside and go for a walk. It's fine. Like, we were just kind of oblivious. And then
Yeah, we didn't know it was airborne yet. That was just like, don't put your hands in
and it
your
was
mouth.
really just I was like, oh yeah,
Right.
it'll
Don't lick doorknobs.
be
Yeah.
fine in a month, whatever.
That was
It's
very
probably-
much the sentiment at the time.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm like, we'll be all right. This can't get that bad, right? And then it just went on for a long time, but now it feels like it went on for no time, and it feels like also time got weird because of it. I don't know.
You're absolutely right about all of that.
2019 feels like it was probably 2 years ago, but it definitely wasn't.
That's
It's crazy.
Yes, yeah. So you come back to Musikfest. It's only been 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right, but I was just looking at some pictures from 2019, our first tour we did with Adam, our drummer, and I was just like, this does not feel like that long ago, except for my hair. My hair is crazy yet again. I think there's also been this just like growth as a band has also arced with the growth of me learning what to do with my hair. Like my hair is great now. I have great hair. I love my hair. I get complimented on my hair almost every time we play a show. It's I figured it out and I'm really happy with it. And I
Love it.
always struggled with that. And so now we're here. It's a sign. It's part of it. It's part of the success.
So we touched on this a little bit before, where like the second album was happening during COVID. There was another element I kind of wanted to just speak to. We've already touched on so many therapeutic things, so let's talk about this one. There's an element to this where your personalities are different when it comes to certain detail. Where Annie, I believe you're more of a perfectionist, and Sonia, you're a little bit more of like a we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that may be where the clash happened there on that album. And I just kind of wanted to bring that up because I think, again, people go through that where it's just like, but the beauty is when you can rely on this partner to kind of balance you. But if it gets out of control. But anyway, like it was funny. Like I heard you say, Sonia, like you now tune your guitar because.
Yeah, I've decided now that's okay.
That might
I
be
can do that now.
table stakes, but no, I just thought that was a funny topic to kind of talk about because it kind of again narrates to the balance that was created by this more recent album.
Yeah, it definitely has, and it's like I think it's nice that we found that balance because it's like you can see how those personalities would ultimately like could butt heads. Like if someone's more of a perfectionist and someone's more just like follow the mood, chase the vibe, rock and roll, whatever. Which is my thing.
But you need the other to steady the ship.
So then you kind of find what I'm saying. You like eventually like through working, we found like how you can kind of have both, and then it's kind of just both worlds.
Yeah. No, me and my partner are the same way in that like I have an innate sense of, boy, this would be way more fun if we just kept going. But there's always this noise in the back of my head that goes, but probably a bad idea. So but I can't stop myself. So I need somebody to pull me back.
Now you're like,
the
wild one.
Yeah.
It's funny because in life, I'm actually like I'm the very like organized, like have a plan. Everything has to be like scheduled and regimented and clean and organized. And then when it comes to making music, I'm like, whatever, it's a guitar. It's gonna sound you're just like it's out of tune. I'm like, it sounds like a guitar.
Well, if you see in the opening of the show, like there's that moment where the guy just puts his tuner down. He goes, well, that's good enough for rock and roll. I love that. Like I love that. Whatever. Like we'll make it work along the way.
I've never heard a guitar actually in tune. I don't think one exists.
And even if it started that way, it doesn't end that way.
No. It's the world's worst instrument.
So I did want to move into, so now in Feels Like Hell, again, we've already touched on the opening track. You have other like singles out there. The other song I wanted to kind of bring up here, because I think it has another great story to it and a phenomenal video, is NPC.
Oh.
It's just like, I just want to kind of touch on not only the track and the inspiration behind what you were trying to communicate with the music, but why you reached out to this incredible guitarist, Buckethead.
Yeah. Unlikely friendship.
Yeah, I was working and he was playing the theater I work at, and
Portland, Maine.
Yeah, the State Theater, shout out. And I never expect the artists want to speak to the people working at the venue. Like that's what tour managers are for. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, no one's gonna want to talk to me. I'll stay out. And like it's respectful. Like I don't try to be in people's business. I'm like, you're doing your thing. The screen rooms, you're like home away from home. Like,
right.
I'm gonna go do my job. And I was just, to get to our offices, you have to cut through this like main area in our green room. Like there's definitely like rooms for the bands, but then there's like a main kind of sitting area where there's like food or whatever. And I'm walking through there to get into the office or whatever. And he's just sitting in that main area, like no mask on, nothing, playing like a classical guitar, just like shredding. And I'm like, all right, just like look ahead, don't engage. He's doing his thing. Cause like, it's also like, it's Buckethead. I'm like, dude wears a mask and he's very like,
sure,
elusive. And I was like, I don't want to be up in this guy's business. And then he just started chatting with me, and he's just a soft spoken, like very nice, person and was asking about Portland and was really curious about the theater because it's this like old historic
Yeah,
like Spanish
right.
style theater. And I kind of just chatting about it and joking that it was like haunted and joking, not joking that it's haunted and
Right.
haunted by the ghost of jam bands past. And if you listen hard, man, you could still hear them playing Grateful Dead 1982's performance of I don't fucking know. What is it? What's a Grateful Dead song? We did this thing where I don't like
You're getting off topic.
tangent. Bring it back to Buckethead.
Not totally.
I was just gonna let it riff. I didn't care.
Yeah, let it riff just like a jam. Man.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
I was embracing the vibe of the moment.
Well, I could go on about that, but I will digress back to. I will stop digressing and and then we just started chatting and exchanged numbers, and he's been like super supportive of the band and. Really...
And the song you were working on that song in the living room, and I kind of got my ear on it, and I was like, "What do you got cooking there?" And I remember the first line of your chorus was. It used to be "Tell me that I'm already dead," or
I love saying "tell me,"
but you say "tell me," and so it's like we gotta kibosh the "tell me" because we say it.
I say it
all the time.
Like "tell me."
So
it's just a starting point.
But I loved that. Like, am I already dead? Am I in a simulation?
Yeah, and then we wanted to like.
We didn't even know if it was going to be on the record. We're like, let's just finish this song.
Yeah,
it's a cool concept.
We wanted like a guitar solo that kind of sounded like if you were in a simulation. That's the part of the simulation like scintillates and like rips apart. And who better than Sir Bucket himself?
Sir Bucket. Well, let me get it playing, and then we can bring it down again. But check out the track "NPC" by Weekend Friends.
Dog tired first thing in the morning. Why is everything I see so annoying? Every time I open up my eyes, I'm in a constant state of overwhelmed and bored. I can't relate, I just ignore that sneaking sense. I'm really somewhere else. Like maybe I'm sorry dead, or I'm living in a simulation. But honestly, it makes me depressed that this was the best thing someone could invent. Waste away.
Those darn beautiful melodies again.
Yeah, we were just laughing at the video, and I'm gonna point out because I don't think I've ever like commented on the video, but the animator put a dump truck on Annie. she's just got like a big booty, and it is something like, I haven't watched this video in a minute, and like
I mean, I'll take it because in real
life that does not
That is
exist.
fantastic.
Not even close. Quite
We
the
definitely got a
opposite.
lot of
And so,
breaking
like,
news in this interview.
We were just cracking up at like, there I go with my big ass, like right when it starts.
I mean,
Yeah.
and again,
And then, weirdly,
I just want to quickly say the video is amazing. In a,
oh
like,
yeah, they crushed
beyond
it.
just the dump truck, but like I think people,
Yeah.
if you're listening on the podcast, you have to go check out the video for this song. It's so good. Anyway, sorry, cut you off.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. No, I was saying also, weirdly enough, there's a point in the video where there's like a security guy and he like points for us where to walk, and it looks exactly like our sound guy, like our front of house guy, Kyle, but like we didn't send any pictures of Kyle. Like there was no way.
Oh, so it was just
that the
pure universe.
illustrator.
Oh, here's this is Buckethead.
There's Buckethead. There's Buckethead.
And it sounds like an 8-bit thing, but he's just doing his brilliantness.
He's just shredding. I never did learn the solo. I have like an alternate kind of like melodic little solo that I still like, that I do live.
I was going to actually ask that. Like, I think that's an interesting
so
thing for people too. Is like, obviously, there's this genius moment that a savant did. That's purely their art. Like, how do you handle that when you
Yeah.
play this song live? So that's a cool thing to learn about.
Yeah. I would have had to start practicing like I don't know 80 years ago.
Yes. Yes.
Keep laughing at it. Well, we did play our biggest Boston show ever. We played the Sinclair on our fall tour, and our friend Jared, he's a crazy guitarist, and it was earlier on in the tour. I got a text from him, and he's like, I may or may not have transcribed the Buckethead solo, so if you need me at the Sinclair,
Brought him up.
you can.
Also-
have
Oh my
it."
god, that's
And
like
he
Rampage
crushed
at
it.
the end there. That's fantastic.
I'm bringing it back to this
Yeah.
this video. At the very
Yes.
end, they also have Adam be like, "No, we're not putting up
I
a
saw
Sinclair."
that.
Adam would never.
I saw that.
Adam would
Adam
never.
would never.
Adam like does not speak and like does not have an opinion.
He would be working at Norma Corp or whatever the fake business is for the rest of his life.
Yeah, I'd be like, "This is so
Norma Corp,
Like, this
that
is
was
my
so
life now.
Yeah.
But we were like kind of down to the wire, and then they animated this like beautiful thing, and I was like, I don't know, I don't have any real notes. Like I wasn't gonna be like, can you make Annie's ass look
Even
more
bigger.
anatomically correct to her
Flatter.
actual body?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say make it even bigger.
Yeah, make it even bigger.
Just keep
Just as
ballooning
the
that up.
video like passes, it just gets bigger and bigger, and then at the end, instead of a building blowing up, it's just your ass.
Oh. So I have no idea how to transition here, but
Sorry.
so we're at an hour. Do you mind if we bring up a couple more topics?
Oh,
Yes,
please.
shoot.
So what I kind of wanted to do was so if you heard off the top there, we have a show in February that we do called Listen to the Dissonance. And it does start to like embrace the mental health topics. And so we create a show where for one evening, we're not trying to solve any problems. We're just saying, hey, for tonight, it's okay to acknowledge certain things and be not okay and ask for help, or just acknowledge that you probably need it, whether you're ready or not to ask for it, all that stuff. And so I know obviously it's baked into some of your songs and some of your lyrics, but you've also been outspoken about, that this is an important topic for the music industry in particular to address.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of wanted to maybe allow for a moment to have you speak to that if you're willing. Just depression and anxiety. I know some other topics that came up, like body dysmorphia and stuff like that. Like, I just think this is important for people to hear, because there's an element of, I don't feel as alone when you can kind of connect with somebody else who writes music that now you can listen to in a moment of difficulty.
Yeah, I mean, it's like music's always been how I process a lot of emotions. And it's funny because they do say like creating art and creating music is one of the more like therapeutic things you can do.
Sure.
But choosing to make that a career, on the other hand, is
Yes.
one of probably the least therapeutic things you can do.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it could be a grind. It's, you spend weeks on end with other grown adults in a tiny moving vehicle and driving hours a day, sleeping not in your own home. It's kind of just this like, in a way, scheduled chaos. Like it obviously you follow a schedule every day and it's the same, but there's like a chaotic element to it in a lot of ways as well. And it could be hard, and for to be out there and doing that, and then also just like do you think of the like complete like spike in energy and all the happy chemicals pouring into your brain when you're on stage, and that chasing that and always like wanting to like get more of that. It could be motivating, but it could also become detrimental in times when like you're not getting work and you're not on tour, and then you're like, what is my self-worth if I'm not out there doing this thing and I'm not working and not getting that energy? So there's a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of just obviously like hard things about it, but at the same time, I wouldn't be able to like, I don't think be here if it wasn't for that, because I get to also just meet so many amazing people and connect with other human beings in a world that feels more and more disconnected. And so I've certainly done the work myself. Like I believe therapy is amazing, just really locking in and addressing what's going on and honing in and being like, yeah, I don't feel so good. How do I feel better? Like, what can I do to be better? What can I do to like
Yeah.
feel better? And I think part of
I
that
heard
is
you.
just, yeah.
I heard you talk
be
about
open.
that, where you were um, acknowledging at some point in your life where you were necessarily surrounded by people who weren't making it easy for you, and
Oh
so
yeah.
you were in a realm where it was a little bit easier to point to other people. But I think what you acknowledged at some point, and again, this is more your words than, I'm not trying to make it anything other than just what I heard you say, was at some point you realized it was still on you, regardless of whatever this external stimulus was. It was like you still had to figure it out for yourself in order to get yourself on the right track.
Yeah, for better or for worse, we're stuck inside of these meat bags. So that's all we get, and we're our own.
That's a wonderful way to put it.
Yeah, we're our, like, and so you do at some point need to look internally. But I think I've been fortunate enough that in the last years of my life, or last 10 years of my life, like I've been able to operate at a point where I can have peace in my life, and I
Sure.
don't feel judged, and I don't feel pressure to like be a certain way or act a certain way. And I think in this, and I think a lot of that's like, Annie having you as a partner, and because a partner in a way that like you're just very supportive and you're not judgmental, and you've given me the space to like grow and been there for me through that. And that's something that I feel very lucky to have. I'm very grateful to have. And I've been able to just take that time and that peace and find that like that home and grow. And I definitely feel better now than I ever have as a person. But there was definitely a lot of dark times. And
Sure.
it took a lot of work and kind of a journey to get here. And I think there's always just growth that can keep happening. But I truly just try to be. I know it sounds like the tacky, like be grateful, but I
No,
just try to be. I
understand what
try
you
to be
mean.
grateful, and I
Yeah.
think the gratitude is having those people in your life who are there to like not make you feel like such a fucking freak. Sorry, I don't know if it's
Absolutely.
when you're going through stuff, because the hardest thing is feeling judged or feeling like you can't talk to someone, or you feel like you're in an environment where you can't grow. You'll always be viewed as like whatever your hardest time is. And
Wow.
I just always try to be open about that. And I think you can cultivate a little bit of that peaceful home base and family and community with music. And that's why I think people come to shows and they go see bands and see live music, there is this sense of like synergy and togetherness that I think lets us all just kind of process that and have a nice time and have fun with it and feel like you can find that peace.
Yeah.
Like finding just the thing that makes you feel peace in life, I think can always grow you to be happier and feel better.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like you said, one of the most beautiful things you said there was just having the feeling of that you're home.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a big deal. And then finding peace and gratitude, it's like those are amazing things. And so,
Yeah.
is there a song that you would point to that kind of really embraces some of that journey, whether it is the dark times or the hopeful times? Is there something that you would maybe highlight there that you would encourage somebody to maybe go to if they're looking for something?
I think like Great Expectations would be the one I would point people to. I mean, it's still pretty sad, and it really draws like, I guess like the thought process there was it's called Great Expectations, and it was because Annie, while we were writing it, she's like kind of bringing up, she's like, oh, it's like as if like Miss Havisham from Great Expectations had their own like spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of like somebody letting their darkest moments and their hardest times define them and keep them stuck in that and never grow and never look for that light and look for that gratitude and look to take a chance. And I think fear is the enemy of creativity, and fear is the enemy of growth, and it's the enemy of love. And I think when you start to really be able to let go of some of that fear, and again, finding that place where you have peace to do that and you feel safe enough to do that, is so important. And I think that song, it might not like speak to that, but it definitely speaks to the idea of like feeling stuck and feeling defined by just like your sadness and defined by
Your trauma.
your
as well.
trauma. And not being able, you're carrying that like an anchor. It's not really like letting you move forward, but like, so maybe that one, even though like, I feel like at the end of that song where it kind of gets big and there's this moment where like, I kind of just like scream off mic, you do sense this idea of just like that kind of scream for me always feels like letting go of that anchor and letting go of the weight of that trauma and just like being able to transcend past it. And then the song kind of becomes like big and open and airy.
Yeah, it's like a cathartic.
Yeah. So that one.
There's like so many you could point to.
I just like that
not
one.
for nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like deals with like toxic relationship.
Like a toxic relationship.
You're like
your own like almost addiction to like toxicity. Like I think with Not for Nothing, there's that idea of like, I mean, like it's in the like, if as an artist you get it a lot where it's like in order to create your best art in music, it's like you got to be sad, you got to be hurt by something, and so you kind of become attached to these like toxic relationships and these like in your life because they fuel you and they bring something to you, and I don't think that's
It's not healthy
either. So no.
yeah, the whole catalog is for you if you're looking for.
There you go.
It is nice that like we tour so much and we meet so many people, and like almost every show someone will come up and talk about how they've been going through a really hard time, and this song or this album like helped them through through the dark, and it's really awesome. Like making this music is medicine enough for us, but then to put it out in the world and people apply it to their own lives and stories, and then you can watch them like heal or
I just had
it's really cool.
I had a really cool conversation with a musician about a month ago where they were like writing the song from a therapeutic perspective because they had to get it out of themselves. But then to what your point was, they've now watched other people who needed to bring that song that they needed to get out of them, that these listeners needed to bring it into themselves for healing. And it was just really like a moment of like just the light bulb went off about how beautiful this whole kind of transition is of like what this thing was that was so painful for me that I needed to write it down, create a melody and get it out in the world so that I didn't have to have it in me anymore. And then these other people had this hole in themselves that this filled for them so they could heal through something. It was just like, wow, that is so cool. It's like magic. It's awesome. Like really such a cool, beautiful thing. And clearly, again, you all do it as well for a lot of listeners out there. So thank you for spending a moment on that, because it's something that I do think is helpful for people to hear and just connect to different things. And I just really appreciate the vulnerability.
Yeah, of course.
But let's pivot now to, so obviously 3 albums out there. This one is like the new kind of heights with Feels Like Hell. Where does it go from here? Like, obviously there's touring, there's support, there's all this great stuff for here. I don't mean to like move beyond with this moment in time because it's so cool and so special. But like,
our management's already asking us for the next record, so you're right on time.
Well, I definitely don't want to be like management. I just more want to think like what can people kind of like get ready for like where Weekend Friends comes down the road? Like what's kind of like on the horizon in your eyes?
Oh, we got some cool stuff on the horizon.
And while you chat, I'm going to bring up your website.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we got some cool touring we're going to be announcing very soon, and we have a few shows coming up next week and next month. Sorry, not next week. Wow. Next month, next week. Well, next month is next week.
There you go.
And and I think we're just gonna like take the summer to really work on new material and work on new music. Like always trying to stay creative, write songs. Right. We're already writing some stuff, so that feels good. And just playing shows. We got the website. We got a merch store. We just teamed up with an awesome store. Yeah, we teamed up with a really cool stupid rad merch, and they are really great. really cool people making sweet merch.
He's a really nice guy.
So we got to that, but then
I have a feeling I'm going to be rocking some of this merch soon.
Yeah, I mean, like the hat that just feels like hell is just too good, right?
That's exactly right.
But yeah, besides working on new music, always trying to stay inspired, but we do have some touring.
Oh, there's a koozie. I didn't even know.
Yeah, there is a koozie in there.
You're like, oh my god, look at that there. There's a full-size blanket of just my face.
So we will link in the show notes to the different social media because the spelling is a little truncated, but
yeah, it's weakened, like someone hurt you.
It's truncated. Yeah, I think. Twitter is
shorter. Yeah,
I think most of them.
We also like don't use X or Twitter.
Got it.
So if you're trying to connect with us, it ain't there. I'll tell you that much. I deleted the app off my phone. It's like Instagram, TikTok. We'll do Instagram and TikTok, Blue Sky.
Look at Facebook.
Honestly, more and more, just subscribe to our email list. I'm gonna try to get that going. Just email people.
Yeah, and then you can stay on top of the tour announcements, and you definitely want to catch a live show here. That's one thing we've been trying to emphasize.
I know. Yeah, we got to get back to the Lehigh Valley.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
But like I said, I always like to play one of my favorite songs. So my favorite song off the current album is Nosebleed. So if you don't mind, set that up, and then we'll kind of wrap up the credits, and then I'll play it at the very end. But the video is incredible.
That's so fun.
So the video is amazing, and then the song, once again, genius. So if you don't mind, set up Nosebleed for people.
Yeah, so Nosebleed was it's the quintessential breakup tune on the record, I guess.
Feels classic Week and Friends. Like it could have been on Common Blah.
It could have been on Common Blah, yeah. If it almost does feel like it lives in the Common Blah universe. But it was just hearing a friend talking about their ex, and I kind of just felt inspired by that, and I like the little things that happen when you're like so over something, but you're really not. That vibe. And then we made this like video that kind of had this like idea, you go in beat up and broken down, but you kind of want to come out of it strong. And I think heartbreak can be that way. It can, to get yourself out of rut, get yourself out of heartbreak. The best way to do it is to really just like hit the love gem. Yeah. I guess.
Fun fact: this song "Nosebleed," we thought this was going to be like the big single on the record, like the leading single,
right?
And then in the final hour, "Tough Luck" came out of nowhere, and we're like, "Whoa, where did that come from?"
Right.
I guess that's going to be the lead single.
Yeah.
But
and
the video
are featuring both of them.
Yeah. Out of control. That video. Oh,
yeah.
They did such a good job.
It was so fun. It was like we had a real crew and stuff for the first time ever. It was like our first ever like real budget video.
Oh, and we're all like sweaty and stuff
but
in the video.
Freezing.
It was freezing, and the sweat. This woman with the like
spray you.
Makeup,
and
special effects would come around
and spray me.
Like spray.
I was like covered in like it's what is it? What was it made out of? It's
silicone.
It's like
water.
A silicone based water spray, and by the end of the day, I was just like coated, and like I had like a fake bleeding nose, but it was freezing. So my nose was actually running, and I couldn't like dab out or blow my nose. And a lot of times you're just waiting for them to like move the camera. Like every little thing that happens, the camera takes like 70 years to get reset up.
Right.
So you're just kind of sitting there waiting and like freezing. I had so much fun. I mean, like it was still really fun, but it was very chilly, even though it looks very sweaty.
Well, I love that little peek behind the curtain there. That's awesome.
Cinema.
There you go.
The
magic of it all. But Sonia and Annie, thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for your amazing music, and I can't wait to see you play again soon.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
This was fun.
Awesome. So there you have Weekend Friends. Like I was saying, been huge fans, and I think you all should be too. And definitely check out all of the great music that they have across the 3 different albums that they have. Give them a follow because you're going to want to check out the live shows once they play nearby. And like I said, stay tuned for the last track, Nosebleed. But first, we'll close things out.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of Your Next Favorite Band. We'd like to sincerely thank Sonia Sturino and Annie Hoffman of Weekend Friends for joining us tonight to share their entire backstory, their inspirations, and also their music and all of the different things that they've got coming up in the future. Just was so great to hear the various different elements of what makes their music theirs, and again, just incredible melodies just hidden behind all of this raw energy and raw music. So definitely want to check that out. There'll be links in the show notes to the website, the Spotify channels, YouTube channels, and the various socials. Please check them out, give them a follow, and definitely check them out when they play live, like we said. As always, our hope here is to bring you your next favorite band. If you happen to tune in tonight because you already knew Weekend Friends, thank you so much. We hope you like what you heard and what you saw, that you want to give us a like and a subscribe and a follow so that we can bring you your next favorite band in a coming week. Or your next favorite band might already be out there. NextFaveBand.com and our YouTube channel, @NextFaveBand, has all of our prior interviews, so your next favorite band might already be out there. If you'd like any guidance or advice on where that might be, drop us a note. We love to kind of curate that, so if you tell us kind of what you're into and the type of genres that you listen to, we can always kind of make a recommendation or two. But always good to kind of keep apprised of what we've got going on, and we've got some great stuff coming up for the summer. Hope to see you at a live show soon. And here comes one more track from Weekend Friends, my favorite from the new album, and a wonderful video. Here is Nosebleed by Weekend Friends.
Slip your elbow, hit my face. I got a nosebleed on your couch. Now I'm staring at that stain, 'cause some things don't wash out, and nobody is to blame. It's just that some things don't work out. Just don't move the same. So I stalk you from the screen, and it makes me feel insane. I used to be around, and now you're just these lights and sounds.
Can I help you with something? Yeah, yeah, do you guys have like towels? Yeah. Here you go. Sweet. Thank you. Thanks. Convinced I